Let me set the scene. You're walking through the forest. You hear crunching in the distance. All of a sudden you look over the hill and you see a large hairy man. That's right, everybody. Today we're going to be taking a look at mythological creatures as Funko Pops. I actually own all of the myths that Funko's created, so it's going to be a lot of fun to go through every single one. And of course, the one that I was talking about a second ago is Bigfoot. So let's talk about him here because he was the first one they created. Honestly, one of the ones that I've heard people talk about the most. Bigfoot, you know, him in the forest. People see him. Is he just a large hairy man? We don't really know. And it seems like every single time I see a Bigfoot video, it's always like some blurry thing in the distance. We've never got a better shot of him, really. But either way, I think he's just such a fun character to have as a pop. And this is also the flocked version, which means it's kind of fuzzy, and it's limited to 3,000 pieces, so pretty rare. Maybe even rarer than a real Bigfoot. Well, no, I doubt that. But still, he's pretty cool. And now, before we continue, I wanted to show you a book that I picked up. It's actually called Tales of the Cryptids. If you guys don't know, cryptids are, of course, mythological creatures. It's just another name for them. And I picked this up so I could do a little bit of research because you can't really go out and, like, see them in person. Or at least I can't do that. And anyways, I was looking through this and there's really some interesting stuff inside of here. Like maps of different places you can find them, and a bunch of them are in the US and Canada. And now, everybody, I made it to the Crypt Dictionary at the back of the book, where it tells you a bunch of different cryptids, or actually all of the different ones throughout the world. And I honestly think that Funko should be continuing this line because we haven't seen a new character besides Bigfoot in a while. Like, they've made a bunch of different versions of him. It's cool, but I need something new. And so some of the ones that I found here that I thought were really interesting is like a mermaid, as well as the megalodon and the Loveland frog. Oh, as well as a death worm. There are just like so many different things inside of here. Oh, and the owl man. I mean, come on, Funko, make some more of these guys. But anyways, just some really, really fun stuff here. I love to take a look at this kind of thing. And now, keeping it on theme with Bigfoot, let's go with something very similar, the Yeti. And if you guys want to take a look, technically this one is called a snowy Bigfoot, but it counts. And I believe the reason that they called it a snowy Bigfoot was because of it being the exact same mold. They really didn't change it up because they didn't have to, but they did give him an ice cream, a pretty nice touch. Oh, and also something that I really enjoy about this character specifically is that it was exclusive to Fan Expo Canada, something here where there maybe actually could be a Yeti because, of course, we get lots of snow. And now, everybody, let's jump into the waters, or maybe not these ones specifically, and talk about the Loch Ness Monster. This is a really cool pop, and also kind of a cuter version of the actual ones that we've, well, seen, of course. Because if you'll take a look here, he's got like a few leaves in his mouth. He's also got like the big fins on the side, the scales on the back. He reminds me a little more like a dinosaur. And even though the only Loch Ness Monster picture I've ever seen is a piece of driftwood in the water, it still looks pretty accurate. Now, everybody, next up here we have the Chupacabra. A pretty crazy one because of the amount of detail that this thing has, with the tongue sticking out, all of the teeth being mangled, the scales and how they're actually metallic. And if I'm gonna be honest, I don't really know much about Chupacabras. Aha! Translated as sucker of goats. The Chupacabra is said to kill farm animals by draining their blood, supposedly marked by 2 puncture wounds at the throat. Okay, well, a little bit creepier than I expected. However, eyewitnesses have never documented supposed sightings. Ah, they're from South America, Mexico, and Puerto Rico. Okay, I thought so. So maybe that's why Funko gave this one the big teeth, because he's puncturing animals? And so if you look past all of the blood and animals and sucking and stuff like that, it's a pretty unique pop to have in the collection. Now, for all of these characters, I've been going in Funko's numerical order as they release these, but for the next two here, there's a bit of a problem because they're both at number 20 in the line. I don't know what happened here, everybody. We've got the Minotaur as well as Jackalope, so let's just talk about the Jackalope first. This is, again, a really fun one, and one of the main reasons I know what a Jackalope is because of the Disney short. You know, the one where he's bouncing around and then he shaves himself to look really tiny, then he gets his fur back and does it over and over again. I don't know. It doesn't look exactly like that, but that's what I know him from. And with this one here, it's really just like a giant rabbit with almost like moose horns or deer antlers in a way. It is really, really cool. And I love how this thing looks, especially with the big bushy tail. It's just so well done in my opinion. And now I'm not exactly sure if there's anything in here about a jackalope, but I feel like this one's pretty self-explanatory. We don't need to do too much reading on this one. And now, everybody, the Minotaur, which is amazing, especially because he's got the giant, like, ring in the front there, some more horns, and something that's really cool is the giant battle axe in his right arm. I think just overall, Funko did a really great job with this one, too, and most of these, if you guys are wondering, were actually exclusive to the Funko shop. Actually, now that I'm looking at it, I believe all of them were. And now, something else that I find really interesting about this Minotaur is that it's almost like half human, half bull, if I'm not mistaken. And now, from what I know about a Minotaur, I believe it is a Greek myth. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but I don't think I am. But either way, like most of the other ones that we've talked about today, it is a pretty unique character, and again, I'm glad to have it in the collection. And now, let's get a little bit smaller with our characters, because we're going to be talking about a gnome. I honestly think the gnome is probably one of my favorites from this line, just because, I don't know, there's something so cute about this one. And also, when they released this one, they then started to do, like, blurbs about each myth on the back of the box. So you can see with the gnome here, they give him a bit of, like, you know, a background. And it says here, by night, the house gnomes of Cologne, Germany, also known as, Heisemanchen, I hope I pronounced that right. If anybody's from Germany, I apologize. Do something amazing. The gnomes emerge from their hideaways to perform the humans' chores and disappear before they wake up each morning. Could I get a couple gnomes around here? That'd be great. Oh, and so that's why he's got the little hammer in his hand. Yeah, that is really, really neat. I'm liking this one even more now. And now, everybody, we have Medusa, which is, I believe, another Greek one. Okay, you know what? Now that I'm looking at it here, this actually has the exact same side as the Minotaur that we took a look at earlier, as well as a few more that we're going to be talking about, so I'm pretty sure all of those ones are Greek myths. And something that I love about this one here is the amount of eyeballs on this character. I don't know why, but they just added so many. It's really well done. I'm also loving the arrows that they put into the actual, like, snake bottom, you know, like right around her tail. I think that is such a unique addition to this character. And on the back here, it says, Greek goddess Athena cursed the beautiful Medusa with the body of hideous snakes and withering locks of serpents. So really some crazy stuff going on here. And yeah, just overall a really well done pop. Again, I'm loving all those snakes on the top. Now everybody, let's get into the Cyclops. Another crazy pop because I don't know, I'm loving the one big eye. It kind of reminds me of Mike Wazowski in a way, and I think that this is just such a crazy one with the giant club in his hand, as well as this is just exactly what I think of when you say Cyclops. He's what I'm picturing, you know? And on the back here it says, the fearsome, lumbering Cyclops hails from ancient Greek legends. The most famous of these one-eyed giants was Polyphemus from Homer's Odyssey. Pretty cool. I mean, there's just so many different weird things going on with this guy. Hold on, I just continued reading. He captured his crew and devoured many of his men before Audius blinded him, escaping certain death and saving the remainder of his crew. This is crazy. I mean, come on, everybody. And also, I'm hoping that I pronounced his name right. Odysseus? I hope. And then, everybody, we have a Sphinx, which is, again, a really cool pop. And there's actually a pretty big blurb about this one on the back. But before we read that, I gotta say, the character is really great with the wings. And, oh my gosh, I just noticed, does she have a snake tail? Since when? Why do I not? Have I never taken this one out of the box? Maybe not. It's one of those random characters that I could have just put on the shelf. I mean, maybe. I doubt it, though. And anyways, the Sphinx is a creature from both Greek and Egyptian mythology. The Greek version has the body of a lion, wings of a bird, and the head of a woman. I'm gonna be honest, I think they're missing something here. What's up with the snake? If you could not answer the Sphinx's riddle, she would kill and devour them. I'm not seeing anything about the snake, though. Well, whatever, it's a cool pop. Now, everybody, we're getting a little bit bigger here, and I actually have this one in a protector because I want to keep it safe. It is the Kraken. Such an amazing character, and I love that for this one here, they actually have like a boat in one of its tentacles. It's so cool. And also something that I love about it too is that they made it kind of pearlescent, so that way it maybe seems like it's underwater or wet. It's really well done. And now reading the back here, in Scandinavian folklore, there is a legendary giant octopus-like creature called the Kraken. It is said to dwell off the coast of Norway and Greenland and terrorize the seas, pulling sailors and ships down into the icy depths of the ocean with with its terrifying tentacles. But besides all the death, it's probably one of my favorite mythological creatures just because, I don't know, I love how this thing looks. Also, whenever I think of the Kraken, I always think of Sea of Thieves. I mean, it just makes sense because, of course, there's a Kraken in that game. Now we've got another weird-sized box, and this one is a Pegasus. Totally makes sense why it's weird because it is laying down, and I think this is just another really amazing one. And I remember when this one released, it was right around the time they were doing a Hercules line, and everybody was so annoyed that there was two Pegasus kind of releasing at the same time. But now, years later, I am glad they made both because this is just so unique, especially with it laying down. They made it different enough that you'd want to pick up both. Or at least I picked up both. And now, reading the back here, renowned in Greek mythology, the winged Pegasus is said to have carried thunderbolts for Zeus. Oh, we're talking in Fortnite terms now. I can't. I can't. The mighty steed also allowed Bellerophon, either way, to ride him into battle against the monstrous Chimera, ensuring a swift victory. I'm gonna be honest, now that I'm actually reading up on these guys, they're getting crazier and crazier. And again, talking about the character, I love that they made it laying down as well as the wings on the back. There's just so many cool things going on here. And now, everybody, we have an interesting one. It is Mothman. And this one has always been kind of funny to me because I know something about Mothman, and it's the fact that, oh no, wait, that's Mothra. Never mind. I was just about to talk about the kaiju, you know, the one with the big wings, totally different character. But anyways, taking a look at the blurb on the back of this one, resides in the Point Pleasant, West Virginia. Oh, closer than I thought. Reported multiple sightings of Mothman between November of 1966 and December of 1967, describing it as a humanoid creature with glowing red eyes and a massive wingspan. To this day, Point Pleasant celebrates their hometown cryptid with a statue and a museum. Okay, you know what? I like that. And well, anyways, everybody, there we go. That is all of the myths that I have for you today. And I hope that you guys did enjoy because it was a lot of fun to check them all out again. And if there are any other myths that you guys want to see as Funko Pops, please let me know in the comment section below because I am super curious. And maybe there's a myth that I've never even heard of, or maybe it's not in the book here that you guys know about that would look really amazing as a pop, and I can do some more research. But anyways, though, everybody, this has seriously been a lot of fun. I hope that you guys did enjoy all of these mythological creatures, and I'll see you tomorrow!